Oh my God. I knew it. I knew it. Let's go. Beauty is my business. Okay, I knew it. So, welcome back to Class Culture. It is July 3rd, and we are going to talk about Mirror Day. Now, I think they named it something else, but basically it's about reflection in mirrors. So, how fun, right? So I'm looking and I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. And I go, okay, I'm ready. But earlier today, because I took today off, the day before the 4th, happy 4th, happy Independence, happy America, right? So I'm running around accomplishing all my errands and, being nosy in Bath and Body Works during summer annual sale. Or semi-annual sale. It's the summertime. And I'm like, why am I doing all this running? It was like a little epiphany to myself. I said, why am I running around when I can just be, yes, I'm laying on my side and it feels good. You'll figure out why. Why am I running around on my day off the day before a holiday? Like I'm preparing. This is my year off. I'm not going anywhere. I love everybody. They can have a happy holiday. It's me doing what I want to do this year, right? Obviously, because next year I'll be retired and I could travel and go all types of places and be all types of fabulous, right? So I get a text and I have regular errands like anyone else. Right? We have to eat. We have to supply your home with whatever ran out. We have a to-do list. We have a to-get list. We have a to-fix list, so you plan things. I found a library book. I wanted to return list, but I couldn't figure out if the library was still open, and it was the list, And I said, stop. And I did. I said, go around the corner. I think there's a park and go sit down. And I did. And it was nice. It was kind of breezy today in the city. And I just took that moment like, yeah, I'm in between stops. I'm going to do that or find something to admire, to ingest, to think about, to, incorporate it in my creations and take down a note or take a picture and send it to myself, with my little notes, because I'll know what it means. That's the great thing about being Gigi Darling right now. You don't have to explain anything. Let them figure it out. Or what is their interpretation, and you listen to what they think it is. I'm not here to correct anyone. I had a conversation with a good friend, and she says, you have to understand. She says, that's what I like about you. There is a curiosity that a lot of people don't have. And you often find yourself in places that you got what you can't give to them, but they want to get it. And I said, girl, say that again. And she did. And I went, okay. She said, and that, my dear, is the rub, as me and some of my friends say. And that's still their problem. But then you're still there going, hey, let's go eat candy. And they're like, no, I'm mad. I don't like you. it's the envy for me, and who do you think you are, and I'm going to take this away, and I'm not going to do anything you want me to do, or I know it's right to do, just acting out. And I'm like, yeah, I've kind of known that's what it was, especially with other content creators on YouTube. They were coming here to get something, to be someone else, to gain. And I'm just coming here, just like I say, over on my community tab, just to relax and say hi and to have fun and to be silly and to be relaxed and to talk about things off the top of my head and not to mind anyone else's business, just to share or to give it, not advice, but just to give information. She says, keep doing that. That's good. That's fine. That's who you are. And they can't be who they are. I said, that's what it is. They were like, yeah. I understand why a lot of YouTubers are single. I get it. I don't think you have. So I got a scratch, phone in hand, moving mic. Okay. I get why they are single. And I get why they're mad. And I get why they can't look in the mirror. Or when they look in the mirror, but what is window? Close it, open it, do something. Somebody having an issue with the window. That's weird. When it's cold outside, it's cold outside. You either leave it open or you close it. You leave it open or you close it. Okay, they got it together. All right. They can't look in the mirror, or they look in the mirror and they don't like what they see, or they're looking at you while they're not looking in their mirror, looking at themselves, and they're looking at you, looking in the mirror, liking what I see, happy with it. That's got to be a bad way to exist on planet Earth. And then these are people of big age. 40 is a big age, 50 is a big age, 60 plus are big ages. And I am mad. Okay. BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit. You got to be 65 to get your senior citizen, I don't know, badge. Reduced travel. I could go to wine country and be back home at 5. I'm planning things for my retirement, right? So I went down to the main BART station, Bay Area Rapid Transit. We don't drive, just like New Yorkers don't drive, just like Paris people don't drive. Okay, Parisians. I couldn't think of what they call themselves. When we get in our car and drive and leave the garage that we've paid for lots and lots of money, it's for an adventure, a journey across the bridge. We're not driving in town. That's silly. We jump on and off transit, buses, Muni, Metro. It's fun. It's how we get around. And we act like city guides to tourists. I can never not be stopped. That's okay. I'm used to it. I'm an excellent ambassador for the city. So this is what I'm doing, relaxed, just being myself, having fun, bringing more fun to the channel and still being myself, still being normal, still being used to just putting content on my channel and being okay with it. Whereas these other YouTubers, they can't handle it. They understand who I am. They get what I do. They can read. Whether they comprehend, that's a different thing. I said, oh, that's what it is. She says, and they're falling off. You're not falling off. You are still in your lane. Because a lot of these people are pretending like they're journalists. They're doing commentary. I am conducting a service, all this other nonsense. And you're like, well, I don't want to be around that. And they can't figure out that's the why. Hold on for a second. Am I in the wrong thing? Learning how to use this phone while I'm here. Hold on, I'm gonna mute for a second. Okay. So I get it. You don't have any structure. You're willing to break rules. You're willing to let people go after they've been in your corner and helped you build. That's why I adore my Couture Bay and my AT2. They don't have that ego issue. You know, build, 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 grow, 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 earn, 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 learn, 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 do your thing. And they've never, ever looked at me sideways, this way, that way. You couldn't tell them nothing about me. That's what I like. But these other YouTubers that are so, in their mind, competitive, how can you compete with somebody that's married and been did it twice? And you're 40, 45, 50 years old and you've never been married, never will, because I get it. We see your personality, it's on display and you're fake. You can't compete. That's why I don't even put I one anymore. I just put one. Double entendre, one. ONE, one. Rhymes with me, one. You can't. So stop it. You should be taking, you know, should be taking advantage of the opportunities when they come, because once they go, it's over. You got people out here with fake relationships. You got content creators that don't want certain people around them. Get away from me, get away from me. I don't like you. I don't like you. And you're like, okay, that's a great message. But then they put people that you don't want to be around in your face. I said, oh, I see. Next. Because they're desperate for content and they're lining something up and they're not real and the facade fades away and you can see the writing on the wall and you're like, oh no, I'm not helping this person. Whereas a Couture Bay and an AT2, you know, they're helping, supporting, in their corner, keeping it 100, being genuinely interested in them as a person, not worried, not annoyed, not bothered, that could give a compliment, celebrate them, and encourage them moments in life. And that's how you build relationships. That's how you can look in the mirror and say, you know what, this person is this and that person is that. You couldn't tell and I'm using them for my example. You couldn't tell AT2 Extrude nothing about me that either don't know or they can't come and ask me. Right? But these other folks, and I will test someone. That's natural. Okay, I gotta change position here. That's natural. That's how, you know, you test the water. You test your coffee if it's too hot. You test your cake batter. You test, I don't know, the vegetable medley before you serve it. You know what I mean? You test, you taste, you add, you take away. You don't cook it as long next time, or you let it simmer. You know, you're figuring it out. So when people say things like, well, I don't like that, I don't have to answer this, get away from me, I don't have to do that. Yes, you do. Because there are important things in life that are coming down the pike. Okay? Is it pipe or pike? I don't care. I don't know. I'm relaxed. That I don't want certain people around me. There's a whole merge of people on YouTube now that their thing is fake relationship and sitting around with criminals. And see, this is how you know. Here is the clue. Criminals and criminals think they're slick. They are so slow to me. And I laugh, I giggle, I thank God. I'm on the other side. I'm not in the room with a lot of these people. I go on mute and I cackle. Like, this person is really weird. Okay. This person is really mental. Somebody wrote a whole diatribe on their community tab. Like, I'm sick, I'm ill, I got a psychiatrist, I got PTSD. They had everything in the book. They're professional victim, e-bomber letter. What do they call those letters? You know what I'm saying? Just spilling out their guts. There's no privacy, no real, no I wish I wouldness. They just giving it away to nobodies and nothings and drug addicts, you know. And they wonder why I'm just relaxed with a real job and coming here just to do whatever and still enjoying YouTube, I might say. I got a good heart from a YouTuber that I love to engage with. And I said, no, I can't even share it. I know I have peeled it. I have pruned it. I have brought it to the depths of blank slate, but they creeping because they don't have no content. Because a lot of YouTubers' content is about other YouTubers and other people. And I'm like, I don't care what Beyonce is wearing. I just don't. But I don't have to on your interest in it. And I do like listening to like Jovi Beauty, Couture Bay, AT2, other people that I ain't gonna say. People I've introduced to the whole merge. Now they're watching. And that person is just killing it. And I'm learning from them because when I'm retired doing this full time, I'm like, okay, I got this. You gonna see me. I got it. I got it. I'm good with it. I'm just taking a break. That's why I know I could never be movie star famous because I like my quiet. I like running around the city, relaxing with errands on the day before the 4th. I like not wearing a costume or disguise and being myself. I like coming on here saying who I am, what I've done, what I've earned, what I've learned, and I can demonstrate it with a receipt. I like doing that. And that was sort of like the end of our conversation. She was like, yes, stay there. Just because you're not feeding F-ish doesn't mean you are I don't know. Doesn't mean you have to be a part of that team just because they gone around the corner and turned the bad page and sitting next to or trying to put somebody in your face. They don't want you. It's just so hypocritical. They don't want certain people on their panel, in their chat, or getting at them or talking about them, but they want to do it to other people. I said, oh, no, ma'am. No, sir. The doxing. Yeah, that's so old to me. When I was doing doxing wars, that was like 4 years ago. It is so old. I alerted, they heard it, and that's it. And they still choose wrong. There are channels out there it would take me like 5 seconds. They would just lose it like that. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm like, I'm not even interested anymore. I could see over on Social Blade. They're making 17 cents. Yeah. While they hurt and harm themselves, while they're being single, wow, while they're using YouTube as a spouse, as an outlet, as an escape, because while they're not paying attention or taking care of or engaging or outside in real life. I said, oh, that's a lot. I don't come out here for all of that. I'm just Gigi darling, just relax, being cute. Okay, so when I did all my errands, I got home about 7 or 8, and I ate. And I said, okay, I'm just going to sit here and lay my head down and get up because I'm not studying again until Monday. But your brain does get fatigued. So does your body. So do your eyeballs. You know, when you get home, it's like, bed in the other room. Come lay down. You're like, no, no, no. It's only like 8. I don't want to lay down because then my eyes will pop open. And I wanted, for instance, I wanted to record this. I said, okay, if I record at 9, I'll drop it. And then on the 4th, I record, just a little podcast, a little story time. Child, I put my head down after all of that and woke up at midnight. I said, look at God. God was like, girl, bye. Just sleep. Stop playing with me. Didn't we take a break earlier today? Didn't you go to the park? Didn't you say stop doing that? God was like, boop. And that felt good. But now I'm here recording because I'm just chillaxed. And then I'm going to go back to sleep, get 8 more hours, record the 4th, and get ready for the firework. You know? So I looked around YouTube and I said, okay, before I record this, let me watch a couple folk. And I redballed. I went, what in the what? Because earlier today, a YouTuber got arrested. But so I kind of dipped in and out. And they swear they're kings and queens and in charge and business owners. And I can do this and I can do that. And I'll never let that person on my panel, and this panel is trash. So I started checking in on people, and I'm like, okay, it's time. It's just time, hearts, to leave certain people behind because they're 40 and plusers, and they're hags and trolls and unhappy, and they're bitter and they're envious and they're wrong. See, they don't want to be around people they don't like, but they throw people that they know you don't like up in your face. And I have made a whole comment on my community tab. If you're dealing with any of my leftovers, good for you, but bad for us. There is no us. See, when I think of a couture bay, I think of an us. I think I've earned that. She could even text me and say, girl, I heard this. No, ain't no us. You see what I'm saying? And that we would have a conversation, but that ain't going to happen. AT2, I consider that an us. Jovi Beauty is definitely an us. And other content creators that ain't none of your business because you'll figure out there's an us. And I've told them, no, wait till I'm fully retired. We will engage. A Gotti, us. These people I support, they support me. Just that's an us. As a content creator and as a moderator and as a YouTube is shut down a person. They could shoot me a DM, ask me a question, they'll get a good answer. I don't have to worry about, they don't have to watch their back. These are people that I have grown to know digitally and really. Did I use that word properly? You know what I'm saying? That's the comfort level that I need going forward. I need comfort. I don't need chaos. I don't want to wake up in the morning and find out somebody did this and said this and they know I don't like that and after 2 years, they don't care. I don't need that anymore. I don't want it. I don't need it. And that's how my conversation ended with my good friend. She was like, girl, and she says, and be honest with you, we're not watching it, not as a heart of gold. When we come to class culture, it's a different thing. They might like messy channels that talk about trials. But people have really, really dipped out hearts to go. And then what do they do? Go and collect new people and think you're supposed to build up their panels and their channels and be in their presence. And they see an old head as soon as you jump down and say hi, they give you a wrench. It's like, whoa, okay, no, done. But I'm glad that that person is not in jail anymore. And my channel does not need to be associated with a doxer. My channel does not need to be associated with criminals. My channel does not need, and I don't need to be associated with prostitutes. My channel or I don't need to be associated with drunks. I don't, no, I don't have to. That's not, yeah. My life is so much more important than what if YouTube went out of business tomorrow? They would go back to and they're addicted, sad, depressed, mentally ill, pill popping, psychiatrists meeting, lonely, can't get along, propensity to violence, aka Diddy life. I'm like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm I'm not making fun of that, but when you really look at it, it's like, no, that was just a moment. I can look in my mirror and know, okay, the shutdown, the big C was a moment. You can stick around, and thank you to all the YouTubers and people who are not content creators who are here. Thank you. I feel like I got the best of the best of the best, the creme, okay, of the crap, right? Now let's talk about that. I am so disappointed in Starbucks because we as locals, we're paying attention. We could tell a story. See, if I wasn't so disconnected when I'm on here, I'm connected in my real life. If I'm working on my script, I'm connected. If I'm at the workplace, I'm connected. If I'm being a veteran, I'm connected. If I'm being an Eastern Star, I'm connected. If I'm being a mom, I'm connected. I can just keep going, right? But when I come here, it's just relaxing. It's nice. It's fun. I got this. I know how to do it. I'm good, right? But I'm also living in a city that's going through some things. So I'm connected when I go out and someone asks me a question. I want to look cute. I want to look nice. I want to look put together. I want to help them get to Union Square. If I'm walking down the street and I see people looking at a map, I don't know. My mom taught me deeds. I'm going to not help everybody. I'm not paying attention to everybody. But when God picks you, that's your moment. And you walk up and say, hold on. Sorry, hold on. Okay. When God picks you, you can say, that's my moment to help these folk. If I like the way they look, I can choose. I have choices. I have freedom. And I'll always choose the right people. And it's like, hi, are you looking for something? Or I'll take your picture. You know, when there's two people and they're taking their pictures, they've saved all that money. They've come to our lovely San Francisco. And the other one person has to take a picture of the other one person under the bridge. And you go, I'll take a picture for you. You go and stand in there. Oh, thank you. You know, because they're tourists. It's crazy. It's 2025. Folks are scared. And I'm too old to have I guess they look me up and down and say, yeah, I'm not old, but they can feel my energy. It's like, no, she's not going to run, take our camera with 2 bags of Ross, in her hand. She just came home from shopping. Not on her way home from shopping. Sorry. So they feel a level of trust because you just don't hand your phone to anybody, right? And I'm walking past a Starbucks location and Starbucks, Bucky's, as I refer to it. And I'm like, oh, let me get my ice. Because I used to get the big bag of ice, but sometimes that's just too much. I'm like, no, I have a beverage. I know I just need a cup of ice. And I usually ask for a cup of ice and I tip them 50 cents. Even if they said $1, I would pay. It's a cup of ice. And the 3 locations that are closest to me have closed. So this random, Starbucks that I'm walking down the street and I just help folk looking at a map. They were looking for how to get to the ferry. And I said, you see that big clock tower? They're like, yeah. I said, walk towards it, go behind it. And that's the easiest definition. People always get there. And I said, hello. And I pulled out my reusable Starbucks brand cup, take the white cap off, go to hand them the cup and said, may I have some ice? And I almost put my little 50 cent in the jar. And he looked at me and he says, oh, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, what? It was like happy music, birds singing. He says, oh, we don't do that anymore. Just stop. Full stop. I said, oh, really? He was like, we changed our policy. I said, oh. I said, that's what we're doing now. I said, no wonder 3 Starbucks have closed. Why are people doing fireworks right now? But we are not okay. San Francisco is going to party for 4 days in a row. Watch. But anyway. And it wasn't disappointment. It was like, okay. I don't look, sometimes when I come home from yoga, I can't look a little bummy. It's just, I don't care. Had yoga, I had my little hat on, I'm on my way. I got my headphones. I don't care. I'm not in business attire. Because when I'm in business attire, I still look like me, sound like me. I am me. I guess it gives a different vibe, but I'm just in my cute little outfit attire. They had an issue. I think that's what it was. I said, okay, that's disappointing. That's what's happening now in the city of San Francisco. And I left the store. So I'm walking home, and I saw another one. I just wanted to test. And they said the same thing. And it was this lady seemed a little nice. I said, can I ask you a question? I said, is this new? She said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, because I'm wondering, number 1, y'all lost 3 stores. Number 2, nobody really comes here anymore because there was no one there in the lobby. No one. I said, oh, that's what's happening. I said, that's unfortunate. And then on the way home, I went to this Pete's. I think it's on, not Kearney, it's the next street over. And they're like, sure. Oh, Pete's is the place, y'all. Peets. It was founded, I believe, in Berkeley. It's just better. If you're ever in town, if you find one, I'm sure they're across the nation, dotted here and there. It's gorgeous. I love Ethiopian tea, not tea, coffee. And he gave me a cup and I tipped them and I had the little conversation, what is going on. They were like, yeah, it's terrible. It is terrible. He said it's not like, people are wandering in demanding ice. They're like, it's just terrible. You have to buy something for ice. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So now you have to buy a beverage from Starbucks. See, this is why corporations get on my nerves. You know, they're not a person in the law. You know, they don't have to look in the mirror. They don't have to care. They're greedy. I think everything in San Francisco should be cut in half. Since Twitter left, shout out to Malcolm X, it should be cut in half. Since a lot of, you know, tech, I hate that phrase, companies have left, everything should be cut in half. Housing, taxes, everything. Because it was all built up on that fakery and effery. And people say Bay Area, Silicon Valley. San Francisco is not Silicon Valley. They're not living here. They're not working here. They're going to Santa Clara and away and working from their bedrooms in their socks and pajamas still, because the Big C proved you don't even have to own an office building. You just give them a laptop and tell them what to do. Okay? Sheets. Relaxed. On my way to retirement. Okay. Why are people doing fireworks? This is weird. And they're like big boom booms. At what time? Let me put my glasses back on. At 1:30 in the morning. That's weird. But anyway, that was just like, okay, you learn something new every day on why this city, as far as retail wise, is dying. Which is okay. It sort of kind of gives it a small town feel, but it's not a small town. You got these big old buildings. I was thinking about a project I can do for my channel. And they're empty. I'm like, how much is this owner losing? Okay, so they own quotey fingers. They probably don't own it. It's like a mortgage. This empty building, and they can't find anybody sit at a table and make a deal. They can't say, okay, we love this city so much, we don't want this storefront closed. We're so greedy that the people that were here left, didn't sign a lease, and we're all basing it on an economy that doesn't exist anymore. What is that? I think that's what's happening. Everybody's playing hardball. Everybody can't take you for face value. Everybody is not being 100. Everybody is not supportive of you. Everybody is, they either don't want to walk away or they're waiting for you to walk away. Everybody is fake. Everybody's phony. Nobody's 100. When I look at someone, if your 100 is a 93 in my book, I'm going to start asking questions. That's who I am. That's my motto. 100. The K in the class is keep it 100. People can't. That's why they're on here all day long. That's why they have addictions. That's why they have psychiatrists. That's why they have mental issues. That's why they have even a digital relationship is worse than a real relationship because it's non-contact. You know, that's worse. It's sad, and the fakeness of the plainness of the nonsense, and I'm glad I'm not feeding into that anymore. I don't have to, not when I had a full day like today and went to sleep and couldn't wake up. You know, planning. I had to tell my landlord at the crash pad, I said, eventually we're going to start boxing things up. What they're going to do with that space is their business. It's not mine. It won't be mine no more, but get ready for delivery of boxes because I'm going to start moving that stuff out. Logistically, it's going to be a nightmare. But I'm going to manage it. I can do it. It's not the fact that you're going from one spot to another. It's getting there. It's more expensive. Plastic bins are expensive. Cardboard boxes are expensive. Hiring people to move it is expensive. It's like, oh, this is hell. Oh, it's hell-ish. Well, that's not a bad word, is it? But yeah, I'm like, whoa. These people are not okay. So it's best if I am the adult in the room, I can look in the mirror. I know exactly what I have to do. I know exactly what I'm doing. I've seen my growth. I've figured out how to do this thing. I'm ready for the next stage of being a content creator. They're not using StreamYard to its fullest ability. I'm just doing my little podcast. Why should I? We'll get back in the swing of things in August, but why should I do more and they do less? Thinking they're getting away with something. Is that why they got the GEDs, y'all? Because they can't sit in a room, listen, learn, apply, grow their brain, condition their brain, earn from their brain, learn from their brain. It's always a leeching situation. You know, leeches don't live long time. They're slime. They're little bugs for a reason. They live in swamps and suck dirt and don't have eyeballs. You know, these are not admirable qualities. I used to tell my mom if I was a school teacher, it would have to be the 2 and the 3-year-olds. Because the 5 and the 6 ones, you know, they start picking up on bad adult behaviors. One time, my son, he was so cute, you know, because y'all got that energy when you're 3 and 4 and 5 and you're learning, and it's okay and it's not okay, and you're sad and you're happy and you're silly and you're mad. You know, they're just going through all types of life emotions and they're growing. It's a lot. And one time I had told him to A, B, and C, and he told me, he said, "You're not the boss of me." So I was like, number 1, where did you get that whole phrase? Number 2, I was gagged. Number 3, I was like, you're wrong. You know, as his mommy. He must have been the whole 3. Okay. I'm like, what? Who are you? You know, demon in my son. I'm like, what? And I remember his dad was like, it wasn't even that serious. I was like, yeah, it was a moment. Okay, so you're not the boss of me. Oh, yes, I am. Now let's discuss the word boss. You know, it's like, wow, that was a whole moment. And the funny thing about it is he still has that good energy today. He's gone through life and he's okay. He's a whole grown man. But yeah, he's still that way. Like, ain't nobody in charge of me. Like, that was he back to life. He was whatever soul had jumped into his beautiful body on the day he was born. It was like, yeah, I'm here. Okay. Jump back. Okay, I got this again. You know, I was like, oh, he gonna be okay. We were like, he gonna be okay. Whatever. He can look himself in the mirror and figure stuff out. But no, he has a good foundation. No, he could call his mom. No, he can call his dad. No, he can call his people, his spouse, even his daughter could ask him a question. He got her. He's a I got you person. And that's something we built up in him. So I get so stuffy, and it's not even, well, no, it was windy. It is still allergy season. Sorry. And we built that trait. When you see a trait in a child or even in an adult, feed it for goodness sake, not for the badness sake. So these people in this merge on YouTube, these content creators who depend on each other, it's what is really sad. They think they're independent, but they're very dependent on other things. Like, the black tea sector is dependent on celebrities doing what? Messy celebrity stuff. I get that. It's very entertaining. It's not my zhuzh, but I don't have to it on somebody else's zhuzh. I wake up every morning. Our films are doing just fine. Okay? That's my job. These people just can't look themselves in the mirror. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this episode. How a lot of content creators, I haven't left YouTube. I'm still on YouTube. I haven't done a deed to make you turn me away. It's always been the opposite. I've turned a lot of people away. I've let go. I've moved past. I was in the skybox at the Opera House already, and I made them feel away. Well, you can't help everybody. That's what Harriet Tubman has said. When I went to the library today to return a book, and I see that big, beautiful monument of Maya Angelou. She was one and only on planet Earth. Still, I don't think anybody will be able to replace her, but there are young poets, there that will become the next, right? But Maya was a force. She grew up here in San Francisco. A lot of people don't know that. During a time where we needed her the most. Even when she showed up at my college, I was just in awe. My teacher, they had planned it. And she came to Solano County. And the auditorium was full. And my teacher had tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "Come follow me." And I got to meet her and shake her hand. He was like, you you'll probably never have this opportunity. And this was before the Oprahs and the years and all of that. And I called my mom, y'all, and it was just beautiful. It was just a moment. She was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And I just had a moment with her. She was just real. And she would pour into you. She would, Maya Angelou, she would look in your eyes and listen to every word you say, even if she knew that those 30 seconds were here, there, and gone. She was present. My nose is stuffing up. I guess some of them allergens are in the air because somebody opened the window and they're attacking me. But I'll be okay. I suspect that a lot of people won't even acknowledge that they had certain opportunities. They can't even look themselves in the mirror and say, "Oh, I messed that up. I didn't handle that correctly. I played in their face because I don't like look at my face. I don't like my reflection. I don't like me. I don't like what I'm doing. I can't get out of this fill in the blank. I'm acting like this is a good thing when I'm miserable. I'm not listening. I'm not learning. I'm asking somebody a question when they're supposed to be all knowing. That's when you know they're fake. That's when you know that I've made content And I'll probably leave these up. This podcast, half of it is members only, but I'll probably leave these up. But I'm thinking to myself, I know I'm speaking plain English when I go back and scrub it. I don't listen to the whole video. I don't have to. I'm here. I said it. I'm from a generation where we had phones with no recordings. We said what we said. We hung up the phone, and that was it. And they heard it. They liked it or they didn't. Never was used to somebody lying on me. That's another thing. It's easy for me to tear down a lie. It's easy for me to expose you. It's easy for me to get at you. It's easy for me to say, no, I'm not doing that. It's easy for me to say YouTube is not my employer. It's easy for me to say it's called social media, not business media. It's easy for me just to be me and relax. It's easy for me to say, that's weird. You say this is a business, but you break laws and rules and can't keep a job and ain't never going to have a spouse. It's easy for me to say that because it's 100. It's what I see. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to kiss a earth. Okay. I'm not, no, I don't fake it, to kick it to make it. I don't have to do any of that. Honey, I came in the door with what I got. And then I'm okay. It's all right. You fell off in your life somewhere. It's all right. If you want to learn things, if you want to watch content, you join people's memberships. That's it. That's all. I don't have to leave that stuff up. It can be for entertainment purposes only in the background for membership. It's a premium now. It's a privilege. That's the point. Move on and do something else. They're trying to hold on to what used to be there. It was called the beef sector. It's not no more because you can't call it cats on Broadway and there's ducks on the stage. That's the merge. Oh my God. Hold on. And I'm tired of saying that. Look, I made a video summer 2023. It's on membership only right now. But that was my mark. That was I say, and this is going to take a moment for certain people to get it. And I don't even care if they don't get it no more. It's okay. It's okay. It's just time to, I don't know, mount. Okay, there's no gymnastics. The Olympics have moved on. Just bye. It's just time to, because they can't look. Remember, Hertz, I used to always come over here and say, just give yourself a mirror moment. Look in the mirror, whatever emotion. See, I'm in the wellness lane. Whatever emotion comes up first, deal with that. That's what you got to deal with on that today. It's more than a to-do list. It's more than what I have to achieve. It's more than where I'm going. It's more than I want to feel better. It's a physical moment with yourself. Meditate with yourself. You're not going to get better hanging with other people. Be yourself. People scared to use social media? I'm gonna put more pictures on my stuff. Are you okay? The nerve of her using her real face and her real name and her real credentials and her real life. Ooh, baby, when they found out that our real movies on it, ooh, people are mad. Mm, so stay mad. I don't care. When I went to the library and I saw that big monument with Maya, and that's my moment in time. That's my full circle. I can look in the mirror and I can return that book and then pass it again and touch it. And thank God San Francisco cleaned up that whole spot down there. It's okay. It was a shutdown. It's all clean now. We still got a lot of issues, but that felt good to walk around in my city, to jump on and jump off transit, to be off, to relax, to go to Ross and pick up some stuff and had to get in one line, get out the other because they only have one cashier. It's a lot going on. It's okay to be happy. Go and to be a YouTuber that says, an hour a day. A lot of them don't have talent, so I have to be honest. But if you are a real talented YouTuber, it's okay to say, I want to do this. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to talk about this. I want to do something different. I don't want to stand. I've never done algorithms. I just did what I wanted to talk about. And people aren't here talking about, oh, it's a business. If it ain't making money, it don't make sense. These are just demented people. These are just people who don't have real lives. These are just people that don't understand volunteering, socializing, communicating, sharing, reaching out. These are just lame. These are just greedy leeches. These are just criminals and con men and trying to play confidence game, but they're not even smart enough to spell the word. These are just people with vices and addictions and stuff like that. And it's okay for Deirdre to turn away, to release, to let go. These are people who never had a good relationship, so they fake relationships and they use each other and they use that for content. And then these are people who like to break laws and like to, the doxing and all of that. I always go back to that one moment. And I was on before the merge. I was on a panel, which that person don't even come on no more. And they had a whole conversation about doxing. Y'all understand what it is now, don't ya? And then you have people that, get 6,000 subscribers and 1,000 views, and now they're professional journalists. I'm like, girl, you're just so phony and amateurish, and I see it. And I think they're feeling away because they know I'm not watching them. They know I'm not subscribed. They know I blocked. They know I don't want to engage. They know I'm not watching them all. So now you're left with the trash, the leftovers, the criminals, and the criminals. How is that working now? You're left with the undesirables. Was that your goal? Was that your business plan? Wow. Why did you waste any time with anybody else? Just pick the bad person. That's all. But just know in that process, you're going to lose. It's just science. It's just good is not going to be outshined by anything, no matter how much bad you pile on it. It's just not going to work. And they have psychological issues because they don't have any remorse. They're not embarrassed. That's why Diddy's still in jail. Judge was like, look at you on your knees performing in earth. Look, they moved the chair and everything, the drawer, she would, the artists, the courtroom, artists. I'm like, oh, look at him. He trying to perform again. He performing in that jail cell right now. Ooh, that's a double entendre. But anyway, moving right along. Okay. I've never come on YouTube to do that. And it's still on my about page. And I've scrubbed all my about pages. I'm down to the 6 channels. I'm good with growing each and every one of them. I can take this 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 months and really hone in and know I got this, but I don't want any of that around me anymore. I don't want your algorithms. You have to stop those people from coming around. You have to stop that energy. You have to kick them out, technically. That's what you're doing out of your algorithm. You have to block them. See you January 1st. If you do the same thing, you get blocked again. It's like They are sick. A lot of these content creators, they've lost channels. They're sitting next to criminals. They're saying something because they're scared. They're releasing the bad and ingesting. No, I said that backwards. They're releasing the good and ingesting the bad because it's getting them attention. And I'm like, whoa. Haven't we been here before, Deirdre? Why are you here? That's when I can look in the mirror and go, you're and you just hope they don't get mad that you leave, because people get mad when you leave them behind and they know it hurts. And I think, in conclusion, I think they thought I was in their corner. I think they thought, and I don't judge people, I'm just watching you do you. But then when I look in the mirror, I can say, do I like that? Do I want to be around that? Do I want to engage with that? Do I want to algorithm that? No, no's across the board. Thank you, Hearts to Go. It just feels better for me to come on YouTube, just to relax, just to communicate, just to say what I want to say, to keep it 100. And that's what we're going to do from now on. Take a look in the mirror. Look at yourself, be yourself, meditate about yourself, fix yourself, be honest with yourself, keep it 100 with yourself, because going forward, Gigi Darling ain't got a problem with herself. Okay, talk to y'all later.